Purpose. Purpose is a great indicator of whether someone will improve or not. The stronger and more intrinsic a person's purpose is, the more likely it is that they will improve. Keep asking yourself, what am I doing this for? For every action, you have a purpose. For every purpose, you have something that motivates you to pursue that purpose. Then, motivation can be categorized into two, extrinsic and intrinsic, which we will delve into deeper. Firstly, why does purpose matter? Well, your purpose determines how much you can apply yourself and how much work you will be able to put in. Your purpose decides how easily you give up and how far you can push yourself. And that is why it is so important. Purpose determines your potential. In a way, it acts as the foundation for which your improvement is built upon. Similar to the way buildings are built, the foundation comes first. The strength of the foundation determines the size of the rest of the building, making it vital that it must be secure and strong. To ensure you have a strong purpose, you must understand the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. It can be represented on the spectrum, with either type of motivation on either side. Extrinsic motivation includes doing an activity for external rewards. For example, validation from others or reward from an outside source. Extrinsic motivation comes and goes and doesn't last long. Intrinsic motivation includes doing an activity for its inherent satisfaction while disregarding other external rewards. Intrinsic motivation lasts because it comes from within. Extrinsic motivation acts as weak foundation for improvement, for which improvement can be built upon, whereas intrinsic motivation acts as much stronger foundation. You can build on top of both, but for long-lasting improvement, an intrinsic approach is better. Purpose comes before goals. It's better to understand why you want to improve before you set your goals. To do this, you must reflect, without judgment. You can begin by laying out a chart with extrinsic and intrinsic motivation on either side. Then, begin by listing all of the reasons you pursue improvement. Let's look at an example. Perform well on an exam. Extrinsic motivation could include compliments, feeling powerful, and being respected. Intrinsic motivation could include gaining discipline, learning new things, and improving your ability to learn things. Once you have listed them out, highlight your top 3 intrinsic reasons for pursuit and keep them in mind. Think of them whenever you need. For example, when you begin training or when things get tough. You don't have to do it this way, but the main idea is that you should begin focusing on your intrinsic motivations in order to build long-lasting improvement. In the first part of the series, I have discussed studies showing the importance of self-determined choice and intrinsic motivation. Here's a short recap. In the 1970s, a study was conducted inside a school. Kids who enjoyed drawing during free time were identified and placed into 3 groups. The first group were shown certificates and medals and were asked if they wanted to draw in order to receive these rewards. The second group did not expect the reward, but were given a reward after they drew. The third group received no reward. A while after this session, the researchers set out pen and paper during their free time to see how the students would react. The unexpected reward and the no reward group continued to draw just as much. However, within the first group, the expected reward group, they subsequently showed less interest in drawing. But why? When the action, or drawing, was connected to the reward beforehand, the kids lost their intrinsic motivation. There are 2 types of motivation, extrinsic and intrinsic, which can be represented on a spectrum. Extrinsic motivation is the drive for external, if-then rewards, such as money, a grade, or looking good in the eyes of others. Intrinsic motivation is different. It is the drive to do an activity because you love and enjoy it. This could be a hobby or passion, something you do just because you love it, no strings attached. What happened to the kids in the expected reward group? When they knew a reward was imminent, they started drawing for the reward. Due to this shift from drawing because they love it to then drawing because of the reward, they lost their autonomy. In effect, they lost self-control. Like a horse being controlled by a carrot on the stick, they become controlled by the reward. It wasn't due to the reward itself. Because the unexpected reward group drew just as much, it was due to the expectation of the reward. It was due to the if-then rewards. If you do X, you will receive Y. Extrinsic motivation should not be viewed as a bad thing. You can definitely improve with those purposes. As you reflect, it's important to consider both sides of the spectrum and shift your focus to the intrinsic. In addition, your motivations are not constant, meaning they can change at any time. It's important to reflect regularly in order to see how your motivations change. An activity that is done purely because it is intrinsically enjoyable is known as an autotelic experience. These types of activities are easier to improve at because of what you are focusing on. You are not stressed about external results. You are not putting extra pressure on yourself to perform. You simply enjoy the task. The reward is not found in the wins or losses. The reward is doing the task itself. When you are not stressing over improvement or performance, you can focus on and enjoy pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, and improvement will come as a byproduct. These sorts of activities bring you into the present, allowing your mind to disregard all the worries of day-to-day life and just fully focus on the task at hand. They make you disregard the future by shifting your mind to the present moment. Try to think of activities you would describe as autotelic, or how you could make an activity become autotelic. At the top level, loving what you do isn't a gift, but a necessity. That's because that passion is what allows you to push yourself more than anyone else. Even if things seem tough and uncertain, even if you aren't producing results or winning, you will keep going because your satisfaction isn't rooted in the external results, but in the simple fact that you want to have fun. All peak performers would describe some element of their field as autotelic. Let's look at the purpose driving some of the world's top athletes.
Mira, te voy a ser sincero. Independientemente de lo que pase mañana, saldrá de aquí cristiano con la conciencia tranquila. Pero no 100%, 1000. ¿Sabes por qué? Porque en la vida, en el fútbol, yo he dado todo lo que tenía. Mi pasión, mi querer, jugar estos tantos años, no fue por necesidad, como tú sabes. Yo, gracias a Dios, estoy muy bien de la vida, pero es la pasión. Yo juego en la selección y en los clubes porque me encanta jugar fútbol, ¿sabes? Pase lo que pase mañana, estaré feliz, ¿sabes? Yo no puedo poner presión a mí mismo, llegar al final de mi carrera y saber, tienes que ganar, tienes la obligación de ganar. No, sea lo que Dios quiera, ¿sabes? Es disfrutar cada día, disfrutar cada partido, disfrutar en una gran competición como es el Mundial.
It's clear that Ronaldo is not concerned at all with the results. His main focus is not to win or lose, but to give it his all in the upcoming game. He states that he does not play out of necessity, but passion, with the purpose to have fun. He is not pushed by records, but by himself and his passion. He does not add excess pressure on himself by focusing on results. He focuses on enjoying the game. Ronaldo is a machine powered by his own intrinsic motivation, his passion. Now, Haaland. Let's look at what he said. The video will be linked in the description. My life has changed every day. I have to meet up, to train, to do meetings, to do the treatment and everything. So, of course it's changed, but it's still fun. I said it before, the day I don't have fun anymore, I don't think I will play because I want to do fun things in my life. Because life is short, so I want to try to make the most out of it. Haaland has similar ideas. He focuses on fun because he loves football. And as a byproduct, he has become one of the best in the world. He goes on to state that the day he stops having fun is the day he will stop. He does not stop when things get tough, when he isn't producing results. He may feel demotivated, but he continues to push through. His passion gives him the strength to push through struggles and be disciplined. He also said, I'm trying to enjoy my life, enjoy what I do, playing football of course, and to try to live in the moment. I think is a really nice thing. And not to think too much of everything that has been said, because obviously, a lot of people speak about me. What I'm really trying to do is to live in the moment and try to enjoy every single day together with my friends and my family. He tries to enjoy life and live in the moment. We can see from these two clips that Haaland's motivation for football is intrinsic. He isn't concerned about breaking records. They just come as a byproduct of his hard work. It's clear he views football as an autotelic activity and plays not for the money or fame, but the pure joy it generates for him. His autotelic activity forces his focus onto the present moment, allowing him to disregard all external pressures. Reversal. Purpose and motivation are key concepts you should consider when pursuing improvement. However, sometimes motivation can feel complex and difficult. You aren't always exactly sure why you do something. In this case, just do the action with the intention of learning how you feel, and reflect afterwards in order to find your motivation. Focusing too much on motivation can be a problem too. You get stuck. You aren't taking action, leading to no progress. The key is to take action, for it is the best way to learn.